yet are invisible enough to be overlooked by teachers, administrators, classmates, and coworkers. Stereotype threat. How many people have heard that term? Excellent. The research focused on, initially by Claude Steele and Josh Aronson, on women and African Americans. But what I know for sure is that in the world of social identities, everyone in this room can benefit from the research because we all have our own unique identities. And these identities may be something you care about. And if you care about it, then this research is important and will benefit you. Whenever you're doing something in a situation for which a negative stereotype about one of your identities applies and is relevant to you, when that is the case and you know that you could be judged or treated in terms of that stereotype, and if you care about what you are doing, the prospect of being reduced to a negative stereotype in this area is upsetting and distracting and can undermine your performance right then and there and in that situation. And it can make you feel so uncomfortable in this domain that you don't want to choose that domain as a way of life. It can affect major choices in your life. You experience it as discomfort and anxiety, and you never come to peace with the situation. And it's constant vigilance of how you are being perceived by others. That's the definition that Claude Steele said in presentation several years ago.
Sorry, I was wondering if you might list some of the identities that are both visible and invisible that students might be identifying.
Well, that's a very good question.
Sometimes we don't even see them in ourselves until we're...
Why don't we go around the room?
Okay.
And I want you to think about identities, visible or invisible, that you or a friend or someone you know may have. And if you don't want to speak now, we'll be here for a little bit.
All right. I'll go. I'm going to be I did not expect to be doing this, but I'm going to be super radically honest. I have obvious things. I'm a woman in tech, and at Stony Brook, that was really rare. Oh, thanks. So visibly, I'm a woman in technology. That was difficult in college because there were so few women in my classes. In terms of invisible things, I'm wondering if this counts. I have both physical and mental disabilities. I have some physical problems that you might have noticed. And I also suffer from some mental conditions that make it hard for me to see myself as a positive contributor. I have anxiety, and I also have obsessive compulsive disorder. And that is a thing that really sucks. And people have stereotypes about that in particular, I think, that are big misconceptions. And basically nobody knows that. So now I've just told you all. There you go.
Thank you. What's important about that is that she has language and words to express herself. There are times when I did not know what I was feeling and how to express the pain that I had in my gut. Something that I heard, something that I saw, something that I felt wasn't right, whether it's directed at me or to a friend or someone in my immediate vicinity. Vocabulary and the ability to express that. Once you're able to communicate that, there are 12 empirically validated strategies to help you reduce that feeling of risk. Anyone else? Let's get started. We can talk. We're going to be here for a while. A little bit. Thank you. Race, gender, social identity. When you think of social identity, when you were in your offices today, what did you see or hear about? We're going to wait for a few people to volunteer. Yes?
What did you hear about doing in terms of those activities?
Yes. What did you see? Tell me what you saw.
So I am the only woman on my team.
Okay.
I'm the only woman well, not the only woman, but one of the only women in the related teams as well. I'm a little bit older than a lot of the other interns, so I overheard something a few days ago that, like, I feel like if I was in a different place, if I was in where I was like a year ago, it might have bothered me more than it does now. But yeah.
Excellent. We've heard disability, we've heard health, we've heard gender, we've heard age. What else do we have?
Well, there's a lot of gender diversity in my company. I think everyone's white. So like, I'm one of the only East Asians, I think, in the entire company. Which I guess doesn't really feel weird. Actually, no, it's kind of like offsetting. I don't know. But I got used to it within like a couple of days.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes. Past perspectives?
I think a lot of people in tech are really wealthy or have come from like pretty solid backgrounds, so sometimes just like seeing how privileged everyone is kind of crazy.
Absolutely. We had ethnicity. We've talked about status. We can. There's a host. If you go onto the NYU website, you will find lists of different social identities. Thank you. We may or may not directly have the identities that were shared today, but the fact that you know that it is something that they care about, if you are in a position, which you will be, to help out, to make them feel happier in their situation, when you are in a position to advocate, do it. Now, of course, that comes at a risk sometimes, depending on the culture you're in. And we'll talk about those risks and some ways to achieve your goal to help yourself and others while still keeping your job and making money. This story is about a blue company and a green company. In 2005, I transitioned to a new Wall Street firm